Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my channel. It's Hila here, and thank you so much for tuning in to Saturday Night Stitch. Today, we've got a browse through of Burda 12 2021, which was a lovely surprise that popped through my letterbox 2 days ago. So I went for several weeks, actually more than a month, I think almost 2 months without actually receiving any of my Burda issues, and I wasn't expecting anything. And then 2 days ago, they sent me the 2 back issues and this one. So it was really quite a pleasant surprise. And I had so much fun browsing through this because the gap between getting the December line drawings and actually getting this issue was quite big enough for me to have forgotten more than half of the things that were in there. So I actually enjoyed looking through this. And there's one thing that I'm definitely going to be making from this. So we're going to dive straight into it. But I thought that since this is the December 2021 issue, which, by the way, can you believe, lovely people, that we're already at the final issue of 2021? How time flies. But I wanted to share with you a rose. So I have a Madame Alfred Carrère rose bush, which I got in spring this year. And it's got 3 flowers on it at the moment, which is a lovely thing to have in winter. We're having frosts now, but it's in a sheltered spot, and I have a microclimate, and I've got 3 of them. So I cut this one out for the December browse through issue because I thought it was special and it warranted an extra special flower. So here we go. It's a really beautiful white bloom, and it's got like these tinges of pink. It's got this really beautiful shabby chic look to it, and it's ever so lightly scented. So here we go. Wherever you are in the world, I am sending you this lovely Madame Alfred Carrère bloom, which is one of the last 3 that I will have of 2021. So I'm just going to pop you there, but have no fear, it will go into part of my flower, my little flower vase that I keep fresh flowers in the house. So we've got the line drawings, correct line drawings this time. So we're going to get into it. Right, so this is the December issue, which I have to say, I was quite surprised by. I feel like it was a good finish in my opinion, as I said, and it feels like a bumper issue because we actually got men's, kids, and women's wear, as well as some sort of like crafty things. So first off, unusually, we've actually got a children's pattern, and it's the girl's dress here, and it's got a square bib at the front, round neckline, and it's one of those that's really quite easy to sew up because you just have sort of like a facing, and then you put a little button over here, cuffs. I think that it's lovely, it's sweet, it will work really well in cord. I can just see this being so cute in cord. And for the women's, we've got a very simple skirt, pencil skirt, 2 dots at the back, 2 dots at the front, and we've got sort of like a slight overlap or a box pleat here, which can just add a little bit more detail, I guess, if you wanted to. So yeah, simple, basic, with a slight twist given that little pleat over there. And then for the menswear, we have a really lovely jacket, blazer, whatever you may call it, with nice deep pockets over here. And I think it's a great thing to actually have from Burda for the men singing. So this is one of those that's sort of like being pinned to the side, as something that I would like to make my husband at some point. And I like the overall look. So I've been doing a lot of styling on my husband, much to his chagrin. But hey ho, that's married life for you. And I actually quite like this overall look with the light gray polo neck, a darker charcoal gray blazer, and then you've got the deep blue jeans. I think that is quite lovely. And then we've got one of the star pieces of this issue, which was this dress that has got this origami pleating at the waist, which is also asymmetrical. So it's got a lot of dramatic features in it. And then you have the cowl, slightly cowl neck look with a deep V neckline. So if you wanted to challenge yourself, this is definitely something that is super challenging. And if you look at the back there, man, the amount of precision that would be required to line this up, I would applaud anybody who would be able to do this and have a zipper over there. So obviously, because of all of these pleated details, you want to use a fabric that's got structure. Now they've used a velvet fabric, which in my own humble opinion, I feel like this doesn't work as well. So for me, a velvety velour type fabric like this, it works really well with sumptuous drapes, you know, cowls, not something that's got sort of like dramatic angles, you know. A jacquard, a metallic jacquard would have worked so much better for this, but I think we do have an example later on, and this one is the shorter length one. So yeah, and then we've got, for the men's, we have this interesting intersection between a jogger pants and smart trousers. So as you can see that they're trying to make it look like it's a two-piece set, but it's actually jogger pants here. My husband says he doesn't like this style, so his own personal thing is that it should be a jogger or it should be proper pants, because Marks and Spencer's actually have quite a lot of these, and I tried to get him to try them on when I was trying to do my project of styling him. And he absolutely refused, because he was like, hey, there's no way he'd ever go to work in this, and there's no way he'd ever feel like if he has to go somewhere where he has to dress up, he would wear something like this. So I do think that this is an interesting mixing pot, and I'd love to see how people take to this in the sewing community. But, you know, as always, it's always lovely to get offerings for the men in my life, basically. And then we've got a knitted sewing knitted pattern, not a knitted sewing pattern. What am I chatting? Okay, quickly moving on. We've got this dress over here, which has got a square bib, and it's got a placket and a stand collar. So a lot of crisp details here. And then you've got just the gathering at the bottom of the bib. So it's lovely, and they've realized it using a tartan. And I really do love how they've used this on the bias. So they've used a bias cut on the actual bib. So that just gives it a little bit more contrast, which takes it from being more like maternity night dress to being something that's, oh, okay, it's a little bit stylish. And then we've got a yoke at the back over here. So, you know, fabulous, I thought. And then we've got a little baby. I can never remember what these things were called. Baby Schlafsack. It's like a baby sack or something like that. But yeah, I guess you could make this as a present for someone. I personally never found this useful when I had the babies, because when I had to change nappies and all, having to get them out of the bag was just, you know, it was just unpleasant. And I got a lot of these as presents for some reason. I just seem to remember that, but yeah. And then we've got a lovely vintage style coat, which is very practical for a little young lady, because it's got room for growth, and it's just, oh, it's so lovely and charming, especially with the rounded collar. And its size is 104 to 128. So it's just about the right size for my girls. And then we've got here this coat dress, which at first in the previews, I actually thought it was a dress. I didn't realize that it was a coat, because also the way that they have styled it, it doesn't look like it's a coat. It does look like a dress, but it is in fact a coat. And it's not my favorite, I have to say, in terms of a coat style, and I think it's because of the gathers. So I find that with coats, and especially with coating material, when you add gathers to it, it's a little, I think it always tends to be more miss than hit, because of how thick it is. So I'm not a big fan of this, and perhaps it might be because of the colors that they have used. I may be very wrong, but I didn't think that this worked really well. And then over here, we've got the men's jogger pants, but this time they don't have the string. And then we've got this top here with a grown-on funnel mock neck, some drop shoulders, and then it's got some little bands here for you to tie the belt, and some cuffs. And this is the thing that I'm going to be making, just going to get that out of the way straight away. And I like this. I'll explain one of the reasons why I'm actually making this later on. But yeah, I quite liked this. I am doing a lot of skinny jeans with shoes and boots, and a lot of tops that sort of like hit my hip or my waist. And I quite liked this. I really did. So yeah, I was like, this will make a really good basic addition to my winter ensemble. And then we've got another knitting pattern here for young children. And then we've got the pajama section, which was quite popular in the preview. So it's quite lovely that you're able to make something for the kiddies, like thermals and things like that. Yeah, you've got that. And then you've got the luxe pajamas over here, which I applaud anybody who can make these luxe pajamas. I just can't myself, but they've got piping detail as well along the collar and a piped pocket. Although I don't know what, guys, let me know. What do you use a pocket for on a pajama? I mean, yeah. I think I don't quite understand the pajama pocket, because it's not like you can keep things in it whilst you're sleeping. But, you know, maybe it's because I'm not a pajama user, and so I don't get it. But I would love to hear your opinions on that. And then you've got the pajama trousers, the pajama pants over here with an elasticated waist. But there we go. Moving on, we have some behind the scenes details, and then there is like the sewing tutorial for the baby grow baby something, and it's a kit that you would get. Yeah, that's quite interesting over here. And then we've got some hyper photoshopped ads. I mean, seriously, separate little rant. When I saw this image, I was just like, oh my god, all of these, like, so photoshopped. Who actually believes that real people's skin looks like that? It's just a little bit of a rant, but it's like ridiculous. But anyway, moving on. And then we have a very refreshing change that made me stop and smile lovingly, joyfully. We had a styling section for men's styling, and I thought that's nice. And then they've got Dior Sauvage, which is one of the perfumes that I ended up getting my husband when I was doing his glow up. And then we've got a sewing section for the men's joggers with the welt pockets. I don't envy putting welt pockets into sweatshirt in fabric. I did that once, and well, let's just say that was the only time I ever did that. Okay, and then we've got the coat that had the gathered skirt tacked on actually works so much better, like 100 times better as a cropped jacket, a cropped swing jacket with tiny little pockets over here. And how gorgeous is that? And I feel like this works so much better. Make it in your neutral and wear an accent color underneath, and then, you know, easy chic thingy. I think that it works a lot better like this. And then we've got the bat wing top, which you can never go wrong with, because a bat wing top's super quick, super easy to make up. And in most of the cases, when they've got a wide neckline, it's normally just the one pattern piece, the same pattern piece for the front and the back. And then you just have to finish the neckline. Instant sewing gratification. Just get yourself a lovely, lush fabric, just like the one that you have here, and boom, you are sorted. Especially when you're busy and you just want that quick gratification, you get it from that. And that's the tall pattern, by the way. Okay, so when you look at this line drawing, I know you're probably thinking, this is a night dress. You know, this is a night dress, but use the right fabric, add in some contrast, add in some animation, and boom, you've got something that looks like you could be walking down the catwalk. How fabulous is that? Okay, so I quite like that. I think that that's a great use of print, actually. And then over here, we've got another simple sort of a top. I like to call this one the Burda standard top, which is like a scoop or circular neckline, 2 dots over here, and then you just add in a little bit of a funky detail on the sleeve. And the back opening is done with a facing and a little buttonhole and a loop. And this is the petite size. So, you know, work with the prints. I actually really like how animated this whole look is, because you've got the check, the print trousers over here, and then we've got the floral, and it's got flecks of red. And great styling. I think you can kind of tell I'm going through a styling phase at the moment, and I am picking up a lot of ideas on how to style, and I'm noticing these things a lot more and trying to incorporate it within my own looks. And then over here, we've got some trousers. This issue was very short on trousers. I feel like I made a pun there. It was quite short on trousers, actually. And we've got the trousers that have got the added detail at the hems, which I've noticed that It seems like a lot of fashion places are doing this. I've noticed this quite a few other places outside of sewing. So it's quite nice to know that, you know, Burda is trying to keep up with the trends. And then, oh, this little jacket spoke so much to my soft gamine sensibilities. It's a little peplum and it's got some details and tailoring that goes into the waist, but it's cropped at the hip and it's just got like a tiny little stand collar. Beautiful. And they made it in red as well. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really liked this. And yeah, pinned to a potential future make when I have all the time in the world. But I love it. It got me really excited when I saw this. I really, really like it. And then it's got some cute little cropped trousers. Sorry, not quite cropped, but tapered trousers with the crease at the front and the funky detail of a integrated belt. Now, this is a great detail. I can appreciate it intellectually. I can't translate it for myself practically because I feel like this actually covers over the pockets here. And, you know, for me, pockets are everything. Why have a pocket if it's not going to be easy to use, you know? So that's, I think if I would make something like this, I probably would be skipping the pockets anyway. But, yeah. And I like how they've made it into a two-piece over here. So again, excellent styling with the flat shoes and the white top over here. Great ideas for an alternative look for New Year's Eve. Say you wanted, but you didn't want to wear a dress or anything like that, and could make that, and that would be fabulous. Okay, and then we've got that origami top again, but this time it's in a print viscose, and a lot of the lovely pleats are lost in the viscosy thingy and the drapiness. You can just look at it and you can kind of tell that there's something funky going on, but you don't know what it is. It may sound a bit silly, but sometimes I think that if you're going to go through the hassle of doing something as intricate as this, because this is going to be intricate. This is a 3-dot pattern, so it is going to be quite intricate. You need to be able to show that it is intricate, right? You know, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, are you perfectly okay with spending, you know, the extra time of creating a top that has got all of this detail in it, but the detail isn't visible? Like, another person wouldn't be able to look at it and be like, oh, there's so much detail in it. Because to me, you could achieve this with a simple t-shirt top and add a belt over the top, and then you've got that, because you can't really see that there's that detail. Let me know what you think in the description box down below. And then we've got the dress the coat that's masquerading as a dress, but this time it's been made in a check. And again, this doesn't speak to me in terms of style. I really think it I really think that there's just something that doesn't work about it. It's not visually appealing to me either. And we've got a really lovely black and white look here with midi length skirt, white turtleneck, extra long vest, which I've noticed that they seem to be everywhere. Nice white pointed shoes and a white bag. I think that the styling on this is lovely. Lovely. And I also like how it is winter appropriate. It's like a stylish winter look, and it's just the same skirt that we saw right at the beginning, but it has been lengthened, and a great use of the print as well. That just marries everything together. Love it. Oh, and here we go. We've got that masterpiece dress, but this time it's in a midi dress length. This one had 4 looks, which is very unusual, but they really like it. And I think that this actually works on here. So let's have a look, see if we can bring this a little bit up close. But can you see how you can actually see the detail here? I think that's gorgeous. And on here, see, the light is coming. And you can actually see that you can see it, and you can appreciate the mastery that is required to create that. I think that that's fabulous. And then you've got the neck line. It didn't translate quite as well in this fabric, I don't think, because there's supposed to be some sort of a going on. and it doesn't quite come across on there, but I think it doesn't matter so much because it does come across. Rich, sumptuous fabric, and it's a satin fabric, and it is actually able to hold some of those pleats. And I think that this is how you do intricate stuff, because it's going to take you so long to get these right. You might as well be able to, show it off. And then we've got the maxified version. So with this one, we got the top, and then we got the mini, and then we got the tea dress, and now we've got the maxi dress. And this one, this is your New Year's Eve dress, and it is gorgeous. They used a really beautiful fabric to go with it. I would have personally preferred that, I don't know, somehow that this should have been in either a black or a gold, so that you could actually see that there's some going on there. As it is right now, it's the fabric that is really, really shining. And if you're going to use a fabric like this, I don't think you need this much detail, unless if you're going to be using a contrast on that belt thing. But it's gorgeous. The fabric is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. And even the whole photo shoot and stuff, just really lovely. Okay, and then we've got some really nice little cigarette pants that have got the vents at the edges, which seems to be everywhere. It seems to be everywhere. I don't know where that trend started, but it is everywhere. And then we've got that top again that I want to make, but this time it's in a print instead of a solid. And yeah, when I make it, actually, I'm not going to put the little belt loops on there. I'm not going to do that because they're just unnecessarily fussy, in my opinion. And then we've got the little jacket, the cute little peplum jacket that's got the hook and eye over here. And this time it's been made in a geometric patterned metallic, and it looks gorgeous. And it's been made as a two-piece set with this skirt here. Again, really, really beautiful styling. So you've got the jacquard with the geometric print being like really very, it's like a very strong animated print. And then you've got the soft lace of the top there. See, I like the contrasts that they've used with the styling. I feel like a lot more thought has gone into the styling in this issue. And it's giving me a lot of ideas of how to wear my wardrobe. And then we've got the top again, the Burda standard top. And this time it's in a print which is very reminiscent of the 1960s. So yeah, and they've used the little black ribbons for this here, although these are very impractical, if I may say so, because like when you're trying to do your laundry and or your dishwashing, and you've got like these little ribbons that are kind of like just so yeah, so it's very cute if you never have to do your own dishes, I think. And then we've got the teddy fleece jacket that again seems to be a trend that is everywhere. It's a cropped jacket. I must say that personally I prefer it in the other black jacquard fabric rather than the teddy print fleecy fabric. I feel like this sort of fleecy fabric, you either go for the full-on coat, and a few months ago they did one like that, which I think was quite popular, or you use it sparingly as like a, what do they call those fur infinity scarves or something like that. And then we've got the batwing top, but it's been made into a dress. And this is a super easy pattern. It's for the tall sizes. You just pick a fabric that you want to sing and you go for it. And you will have something wearable within an hour. And yeah, as long as the fabric is something that makes you happy, you're just going to be floating. And we've got the double-breasted jacket over here, slightly over long. And we've got like a really cool photo shoot in the plus sizes with this issue, and it's just really, really lovely and fresh, providing a nice balance to all of the rich sumptuousness that we were getting previously. So I thought that was a really nice way of contrasting it. And then you've got, it's a masterpiece, so absolutely lovely to be provided with some advanced sewing patterns and styles. And so this one is just a simple top, very similar to what we had in the November issue, except for in the November issue, it had an integrated scarf on it, but simple, straightforward, instant gratification sewing is what I call it. And then we've got the trousers over here, and they've got some interesting looking pockets along a yoke. I must say I've never actually seen trousers like that, because normally yokes on trousers like this are kind of a little bit more angled. Maybe it's to accommodate the pockets. Oh, these are fake pockets. I don't know, but you've got the hip yoke pockets over here. Doesn't look like it's got a zipper as well. Oh yeah, it's an elasticated bag. So comfort reigns supreme. So I'm noticing a lot of these post lockdown designs. They seem to have a lot more comfort integrated into it. And then you've got a simple bias cut A-line skirt here. I always think I like these in principle. I need to make more of these. Okay, and then we have a bat wing top, again keeping in with that theme of simplicity, but this one you can add a contrasting panel down here just to, you know, add interest, and I think it's lovely. And I like the colors that they have used on here. So contrast fabric is one way of just adding quick instant interest to a garment. And then we've got the top again. That was the dress at the beginning of the plus size section, and then the sides have been turned into like plackets, and you've got sort of like the buttons over here. Interesting. Not too sure I'd be keen on actually going through the process. I just make it a full placket. And then we've got the cocoon jacket, which is ever present. I think it's like a requirement that every 2 to 3 months you have a cocoon jacket style. So here we have minimalist looking, obviously very clean, simple lines. And it does look lovely in the sky blue fabric that they have used. And she's gone for the monochrome look as well. I think, as I said, I think that the styling in this issue was just off the charts. I really enjoyed the styling in this issue, which I think was a nice finish to the year. And so there's some really lovely designs in here, I think, and I will definitely be making number 115. I've got a pink French terry fabric, which is upstairs in the sewing room. And that's the one that I'm going to make. In fact, after I finish doing this, I am going to be tracing it out, and I'm hoping to get it done within the next week or so. Really like this little peplum jacket. Have to think about where that would fit into my lifestyle. But some nice, for a December issue, I do feel like it had some nice, decent, interesting looking patterns. And I think that this one is going to age well. So there wasn't anything in it that was too like, wait, what? And at the same time, they also had, I think this is a stellar pattern, even though I sort of struggled with some of their fabric choices, but I do think that the dress is like a really nice pattern. And I can't wait to see what the Burda community does with that. And yeah, and just the styling, the fabrics that they used were really inspiring, and obviously also welcome more men's sewing patterns. That would be really nice to get an opportunity to try out all of our sewing skills, making stuff for other people. So that is what we have, lovely people. Let me know if you're going to be making anything from this issue, whether you even have time. So I know for a fact that in December I'm unlikely to be able to have that much sewing time, so I'm trying to get most of my sewing done before the end of this month, which is only about 8 days left. And then if I can squeeze in any sewing in December, it's meant to be mindful sewing, but I'll do another video about that. So coming at you from the north of England, thank you so much if you've stayed until the end. I really do appreciate that. Please remember to like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I put out sewing videos very regularly. And until I see you next time, lovely people, happy sewing. Bye.